Hi guys, it's Mary. It is 7 o'clock on Saturday, and so far, everybody cross all the fingers that you've got. So far, the internet appears to be giving me a good speed test up and down, so hopefully Facebook will like what we're doing tonight, and we can get through this. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. Let me refresh my computer off to the side here, just to be sure that we are actually going out. And we'll wait just a few minutes to make sure everybody gets in and that I'm actually transmitting. It looks like I've got some folks joining, so that's good. Hi, Nancy. Glad you could join. I appreciate you. Hi, Julie. Penny. Wait, everybody, excuse me. The guard dog is guarding against the dad. Here. That's enough. Hush. Penny. Shh. Penny. Go with your dad. Sorry about that, you guys, but it should make you happy to know that I am very well protected right now. So, anyway, hey, Linda. Hi, Karen. Hey, Faith. Yes, this paper, that's the first thing we're going to look at is the paper. Hi, Denise. Hi, Holly. How are you? I appreciate y'all joining. Linda. All right, so what I would like to do is show you this card, and we're going to go through making it. But first, I need to show you the absolutely, hey Alicia, the absolutely bestest paper in the entire catalog. And I have now seen all of them as I cut my shares. But this one, y'all, is just amazeballs. So let me show it to you. I'm going to set this out of the way. I promise it'll come back in just a second. This is the Pressed Petals Specialty Designer Series paper. I want you to just write it down right now. Here, I'll even give you the item number. Is 149500. Just write it right down and go right ahead and order an entire pack for your own self. I don't even care if you bought shares. You'll get the shares. You'll have a couple of 3 little 6-inch pieces, and that'll be awesome. But I can assure you, you are going to want to have this entire cardstock pack. Not cardstock. This is, of course, DSP. So let me show you what is in this paper. This is my favorite of all time, and I have said that a few times. I'm aware, but this really is it, and I'm not even going to change my mind. Well, I probably won't change my mind. Maybe later, but not right now. So here is the paper. I've cut it up a little bit so that you can actually see it. Hey, Karen. Hi, Roz. Appreciate you joining. Hi, Marianne. Glad you could make it tonight. Linda from Calgary, appreciate you. Okay, so let me set these little pieces aside real quick because those come from a large piece of framed paper. But here is the beautiful, beautiful DSP itself. Okay, so there are 6 designs. One of them has a series of panels, but you've got this design. This is the front and the back. Look how gorgeous it is. Can you see that kind of linen-y burlap background with the wildflowers in it? Oh my Lord. Then you've got this one, and on the back you've got some newsprint in a kind of mossy meadow, dark mossy meadow, and then kind of a seafoam color. But these beautiful blueberry bushel and Night of Navy flowers on the front. Then we have a very organic leaf image, and it has all solid burlap / linen on the back. How beautiful is that? And this one you're going to see. This was the card front for the card I made tonight. Karen, yes, it is. It is in the catalog, I promise. Then we have this one with Rococo Rose and Mary Merlot. I love the colors in this set. It's really quite wonderful. You got Crumb Cake, Daffodil Delight, Mary Merlot, Mossy Meadow, Night of Navy, Pear Pizzazz, Rococo Rose, Soft Suede, and Very Vanilla. I mean, they're just beautiful. And look at this. Entire sheet, 2 sheets worth of this beautiful. I mean, this is a really nice wood grain. Love it. Oh, here we go. Look how beautiful that is. Look at those flowers. And then this is the back side, again with kind of the botanical print, but in the Mary Merlot color scheme. So there's that. And then you get a sheet that has, wait a minute and I'll show you what the sheet looks like. She says, maybe she will. You get a couple, 3 of these. Actually, you get 4 of each of these sheets in your pack, which is handy. And then these are all the panels, and I have cut them up for you. They're quite easy to cut because the delineations between the panels are very distinct. So that makes it a whole heck of a lot easier to cut everything up. You've got some lovely daisies, Gerber as it looks like, that you can make into a strip for your card. Here's a lovely little leaf. You could put your sentiment in there around with those flowers. Then you have it with the same kind of idea with the burlap background, a wood flower spray, a beautiful wreath with daisies. Look at that. How pretty is that with the handwritten script on the background? Gorgeous. All of these would be very easy to just trim a little bit, put a mat, a sentiment in the center, bing, bada, boom. You've got you a card already done. So I can assure you, if this is not your favorite pack of paper, it's just because you haven't seen it yet. I promise you, you are absolutely going to love it. Okay, so here's the card that we're going to make tonight. And, ooh, sorry about that. Here we go. Here it is in detail. This has a couple of different elements, not all from the Pressed Petal suite, but some of it. So you can see the DSP that I showed you with the linen background, and then that beautiful, I don't even know what kind of flowers those are. Maybe ranuncula, I'm not sure. But whatever they are, they're gorgeous, and I've used that as the center strip. And then I created a frame with the Heirloom frames, dies, and embossing folder set. This one actually coordinates with the woven threads set, but I pulled it out to use for this card. I've made a flower from some pressed petal washi tape. It's fun. I'm going to show you how to do that. Then the sentiment is all from the Path of Petals, which is the basis for the Pressed Petals suite. Okay, and then on the inside, I did a couple of these 3 stamps and another one of the sentiments. So even the sentiments are beautiful in this set. So I think you're really going to like it. Let us go ahead and get started, shall we? Let's commensurate. All right. So I've got my card cuts here. These will all be on my blog tomorrow, so you don't need to worry about that. What I have done, I've got my envelope ready, and I'm using a thick Whisper White, a thick Very Vanilla card base, which I now all of a sudden don't know where it is. Hang on a sec, let me get it because I will panic in the middle of my presentation, and that is never good. Panic is never good. It's right here somewhere, I'm quite certain, so I'll just get a new one and we'll be ready to go. Now, Rococo Rose and Mary Merlot are kind of the reddish pink colors that you're going to see today. I love that we got to use Mary Merlot in this set. That's really quite perfect. All right. And then I've got my frame. Now, I did already cut the frame because that is pretty basic. Let's take a look here. The Heirloom frames dies, when you get it, it comes as 4 pieces. You get the 2 frames, one is rectangular and one is oval, and then you get the coordinating 3D embossing folders that emboss those frames. Now, I tried this 2 ways. Yes, ma'am, Roz, I believe it is one of the best catalogs in a long time. Hey, Lenny. Hey, Sue. Good to see you. I tried it 2 ways. The first time I did this, I embossed my crumb cake cardstock, and then I tried to line up the frame to cut it out. And I didn't like how that worked. So the second time around, and this time, I cut the frame first. You can see that this is just a piece of crumb cake that I cut the square frame or rectangular frame with. And now I'm going to emboss it. Now this is one of the new emboss folders, the new 3D embossing folders. How many of you have seen on my blog, I posted that the new embossing plate is available now. That is going to be on my next order. I was thinking I would not use it, but after playing with this set, I think it will be very helpful. The new embossing folders, remember we kind of changed up the production line. The new folders are a little bit thinner than the previous dynamic embossing folders. Hey, Sharon. Hey, Janie. So what you need is either the 3D embossing plate, which is $10, which is nothing really in the big scheme of things, or you're going to have to do some shimming to make things work, because with my regular the regular Big Shot plate and an acrylic pad, it wasn't quite thick enough. 2 pads is too thick, 1 pad isn't thick enough, so I ended up having to do a little shimming. Not shimmying, which is completely different, but shimming. So let's go ahead and do that. What I found worked the best for this particular folder is my regular platform, 1 acrylic pad, and I believe 2 pieces of cardstock. And this feels like thick Whisper White, and this feels like regular Very Vanilla. So we're going to see if that is in fact the shim. Here's what I recommend, and absolutely so does Stampin' Up! As well. Hey, Deborah. Is to experiment. You can always add another shim, but it's really hard after you have forced a sandwich with 1 too many shims through. You may break your embossing folder, and Stampin' Up! is not going to make good on that. So they give you fair warning. I'll give you fair warning as well. Go ahead and 1, get the platform, the new platform, and 2, if you're going to play the shim game, start with fewer than you think you might need and work your way up. Okay. So I have the rectangular embossing folder, the 3D, and I have my cutout frame, and all I'm going to do is just line that up as best I can so that it is kind of equidistant from the edges, like that, and then fold it up, and then I'll put my acrylic pad on and my 2 pieces of cardstock, and let's see how that goes. Now it's not giving me, I don't feel it. You know, usually you can feel it when something's happening, and I don't really feel it. So I'm probably going to want another little piece of cardstock. So let me get another little piece of cardstock, and we'll put that in there. That didn't feel very embossifying, but let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. Well, it's stuck to the embossing. Okay, so it's sort of embossed. You can see it on the other side. I'm going to stick it back in. I'm going to do another layer of shimming, okay? Another layer of shimming. And let's see what we get here. All right. And then I'm just going to use this, my mat there, and see. Yeah, that feels about right. So in this case, when I did it this time, it wanted 4. And you know, it's possible that's what it wanted when I made the when I made the prototype. There's no telling. Okay, yeah, that's a little better. Okay, you can see it there. I probably could have stood a little more, but I'm gonna go back in. See, you can play with this. It's not very hard. And yes, they say that you can actually spritz it with water, but I've never been a spritzer. I'm not a spritzer. What can I say? I don't like to spritz because I am a messy maker, messy person, and I don't want to do that around my craft area. So I'm just going to go back. And what I've done is just moved my shim over to the part where it wasn't embossed very deeply. So I don't know about you guys, but to me, I've played with this enough now that I'm more than prepared to purchase the new plate. Just saying. Okay, so let me set this aside. Let me get this because I will lose that sure as shooting. I'm going to put this aside. And we are now ready. Okay, so did y'all kind of follow that? You have that too. I still have the original tabbed plate. Yes, of course it'll work. I don't know if it'll work without a shim. I don't know, because if you remember, this platform that I used was the same, should have been the same as the basic untabbed for this would have been good for the embossing folders with the tabbed plate or platform. So it may or may not work. Obviously, give it a shot once you get one of the new embossing folders. And remember, those are the ones that are actually listed as new in the catalog, are the new ones. The carrying over folders are not quite available yet. Okay, so let me show you what I did with this. I took some crumb cake and I lightly inked up a sponge dauber, and then I'm just gonna very lightly go over the embossed portion. I'm not really trying to like vintagize it, as just kind of pull out that embossing a little bit. Okay, so I'm just skimming it over the top, not terribly hard, but enough that you can see that pretty embossing much nicer. Okay, and then I'm going to show you a fun little trick. Okay, and now I am going to go along the edges a little bit. Again, not really trying to make it vintage as much as to just kind of make it stand out a little better, have a little more depth to it. So I'm also going to tell you another little story very quickly. If you guys go to buy the detailed Peacock dies, and you also happen to want some Bird Ballad DSP on the same order, be really careful, because the 5th digit is in both of those item numbers is the only difference between the item numbers. One of them is an 8 and one of them is a 9. And if you put the one in with a 9 and then say you need 6 of them because you wanted 6 Bird Ballad DSP packs, you're going to get 6 detailed Peacock dies and 0 Bird Ballad. So that's what I got. So if you're waiting for a share, straight up confession time, they aren't going to go out until probably Monday afternoon, maybe Tuesday morning, depending on when UPS shows up, because I had to reorder. Fortunately, I figured it out just before the cutoff for next day UPS on Friday, or we would be waiting until Wednesday. So I apologize for that. It was an 8, should have been a 9, or it was a 9 and should have been an 8, and I double checked it and I triple checked it, and I think I read what I wanted to read, what I thought I was going to see. Okay, so we've embossed our frame. We have lightly sponged it to antique it a little tiny bit. Yes, Roz, exactly. Oops. Hey, Eunice. Well, happy birthday to your grandson. So what I want you to do when you're making these frames is I want you to take your bone folder, and all I'm going to do is I'm just going to put it across the diagonal here on my frame. And I'm just going to give it a little push like that. And then I'm going to do it on all 4 corners. Guess what that's doing? That's making it look like a 3-dimensional frame. And then we're going to make that even more so with my favorite tool ever. Yes, Stampin' Dimensionals. And there we go, one more. Okay. All right, so there we have our frame. And I'm going to take my dimensionals, not because I'm getting ready to attach it to anything, but because I want to show you what we're going to do. And all I'm doing is I'm putting the dimensionals towards the inside edge of my frame. Well, that one's going to be a pain. There we go. And I'm going to do it on all 4 edges. Like so. Any excuse to use more dimensionals. That's my story. That's my story. Hi, Daryl. Glad you could join us. Thank you, Alicia. I appreciate that. Yeah, Alice, it wasn't funny. I might have said some bad words when I realized it, because I was like, wait a minute, bird ballad? I don't remember unpacking any bird ballad. Okay, so this is ready, and I'm going to just set it aside for a second, and let's go ahead and put our card front together here. So I'm going to take some of this beautiful linen-y burlap, and I'm going to adhere it to a Rococo Rose mat. I tell you, you know, the best thing about doing shares is certainly paper shares is that you really get to see all of the designs and you get to feel the paper. And it really brings home to me that Stampin' Up! Truly has got the best paper going. It is so heavy and thick and it just feels good. It just feels good. So I'm happy you guys get to play with our stuff. How about that? All right, now we're going to put this small panel. I love just using this beautiful rose paper. I wish I could grow those roses. And don't say, of course you can buy those roses and grow those roses. I could buy these roses until the cows came home and not grow these roses. Okay, now I'm just going to adhere this since I know where I want it. Obviously, if you're building a card for yourself that isn't a case of this one, do some dry fitting and see where you want it. But in this instance, I knew I wanted it a little bit towards the top of my card front and centered. Okay. And I'm just going to give that a little wipe because I got a little carried away with my glue. Okay. Now, this is where my frame is going to go. It's right over the top there, like so. And actually, I think we can go ahead and put that on now. I don't see anything holding us back. Nothing is holding me back. I know this because I am casting furtive glances at my prototype to be sure I'm not screwing something up. Not screwing something. Boy, you guys, I'll tell you what, it has rained here. Our friend called this morning. He lives up near at the front of the place, and he said this was like at, oh gosh, 10 o'clock, and we still had the horses up because the thunder and lightning was going pretty good. He said we'd already had 3 inches of rain this morning, and the rain didn't even start until it started while I was on the treadmill, so like at 6:30 or so. So all I'm doing here, let me pull this to me just a little bit so I can make sure I get it centered up and kind of straight, sort of something approximating straight. Okay. There we go. And then I'm just letting it settle down onto the dimensionals. And so with the creases in the corners and the dimensionals supporting it, it has a very, well, dimensional kind of a look to it. So that really, I really like it. Sorry. I really like it. I really like it. I really do. Okay. Before we joined, I cut out a stitched shape framelits open oval. 10, not 9. 10, not 9. 10, not 9. Yes, dimensionals. Correct. But see, that was the back of a frame. It's completely different. All right, so let me see. I'm going to use my Sharing in Your Sorrow. Actually, you know what? This could be a wedding card. Do you guys think this could be a wedding card? If it's not Sharing in Your Sorrow. That would be totally wrong. But don't you think this could be a pretty little wedding card if this said, best wishes on your joyful day, and then I put a different sentiment on the inside, perhaps one like, here's to always finding joy in one another's laughter, warmth in one another's embrace, and love in one another's lives. What do you think? I think yes. I'm going to change it up so that I have a wedding card instead of 2 sorrow cards, because that's so sad. No, I think I should have another one like this. One never knows when one's going to need this, huh? I think I'm going to make, no, No, I'm going to stick with what I got. I'm going to stick with what I got because I made it for a reason. I know I made it for a reason. But you guys, you could totally make this as a wedding card. I know you could. You could absolutely totally make this as a wedding card. Okay. Now, I'm going to ink this up in Mary Merlot. Here's a tip for you. You can see that my other stamps are all kind of reddish. It is not because I've stamped them all with Mary Merlot. It's because I deliberately went and inked them with Mary Merlot and then cleaned them off so that I can see those intricate little pieces, so that I can find where they're going to stamp when I'm stamping my photopolymers. So that's my tip. Usually we try hard to not stain our photopolymers, but in some instances I actually think it helps. So I did that on purpose to my stamps. Just saying. Okay, so let us go ahead and do our sentiment, sharing in your sorrow. You'll see I cut 2 of the ovals because there's a distinct possibility I will screw this up. Distinct possibility. I mean, not that I ever make a mistake, but yes, I totally do. Okay. And everybody hold their breath. Hold it down. And there we go. Okay, so that was Mary Merlot. Love Mary Merlot. Loves me some Mary Merlot. Okay. Let it set for just a second before I mess with it because, you know, Mary Merlot being one of those darker colors can actually take a hot second to get good and dry. Okay, now, because we don't want any dimensionals to feel left out, I'm going to put a couple on the back here. And let's see, I need to cut one because I'm out of big ones there. Alrighty. And then I'm going to show you how to make that fun flower with the washi tape. All right, so I'm just going to center that right in the middle of the frame. Looks good. Okay. All right, you ready to make a flower? Look, okay, so here is the washi tape in the Press Petal washi tape pack. This is a beautiful vintage looking tape, this one, and it is a 1/2 inch wide. And it's got writing, like here it says, all that I know of love I learned from you, and I know all that friends ever knew. Very nice. Okay. And it's got a whole bunch of wonderful little quotes and sayings, and it's nice and vintage. Okay, very fun, awesome. It's washi tape. But this one, these are actually petals. Now, I gotta tell you, do you guys like artichokes? Do you eat artichokes where you boil them or you steam them and then you peel the leaves off? Well, when you get to the inside, right before you get to the choke, is the purpley leaves. And the whole time I was making this flower, I kept thinking I was making an artichoke, but then I realized I wasn't because I couldn't eat them. I'm not going to say I tried. I didn't try. That would be silly. Okay, so when you peel these, they're all individual little leaves. Isn't that so cute? Yes, I love this. And Karen, this is washi tape that you are going to need to have. I can promise you. Okay, so here's how I made this flower. Now, this is sticky all the way. It's all sticky. So it's really hard to make a flower stick up when the backs are sticky. So here's what I did. Okay, you ready? First off, I took a piece of crumb cake and I cut a 1/2 inch circle. Okay. Now what's going to happen is I'm going to build my flower around there, but before I do that, I'm taking the end that doesn't need to be sticky, i.e. all of it except the little tiny end, and I'm pushing it around on my hand to dull the sticky. Don't do this on washi tape that you want to actually stick. And because I want everything to stick, I'm actually going to use a little bit of liquid glue in case I got a little too jiggy with my oily fingers and my oily self. So that just really dulls the tackiness of it. And then I'm just going to build a flower like that. And I'm going to do that a few more times. Easy and peasy. And so pretty. And I can already tell I'm going to need another one of these rolls of washi tape because so pretty. And what's cool is it gives it an automatic curl when you pull it off of the tape. Yes, you definitely need this washi. And yes, Donna, I love artichokes myself. Have you ever had a deep fried artichoke heart where they take baby, or even just a deep fried baby artichoke? Oh my Lord. I mean, I don't normally cotton to eating babies, but in the case of baby artichokes, I'm all about it. Deep fry them. Okay, there comes another, and we're just going to keep repeating. You can see this is not very technical. It's a little bit, you know, I don't know what it is, but it's not very technical. But it works, and I liked how it looked. A little more glue because I ran out of space there. And I'm just going to do 3 or 4 till I get tired of putting them down. Like that. Sometimes actually the hardest part of it is finding the next artichoke leaf. There we go. Like that. Yep, baby powder would work as well. Oh my gosh, Donna, you're right. That is crazy. You know what my dad used to do? This was actually kind of mean. I think it was mean. He would offer to clean out the thistle part, and then before we could even blink, he would eat our artichoke hearts. What? That was just so mean, because we'd been working our way, slogging our way through those leaves, and then we'd get to the end, and our unwillingness to clean the artichoke heart. And here's why I don't use powder, because I would have powder everywhere. I would have powder everywhere. Also, I would never remember to have powder, but I always have my hand. So I just totally made that up. Okay, now I'm just putting a couple of on the inside here to give it a little more depth. And because, you know, I'm having fun with it. So the more fun you have, the more you should do it. Do what makes you happy. Okay, and put a little more glue there. And I'm looking around. Oh, they're there. Okay. All right. I was so excited to get this washi tape. I just think it's the coolest thing. I mean, what a great idea somebody came up with. Make washi tape petals for flowers. Are you kidding me right now? And it's so thin because it's, you know, washi tape, that it really looks like flower petals. So I'm going to call that good. And I'm going to put a new Perennial Essence Floral Center in the center of it. You know what else you could use? If you wanted a little different look, you could use one of the new designer elements that's part of the pressed petal suite. It comes with kind of a brassy copper, silver, or gold, silver, and copper, which are pretty. But I'm liking how this looks with the yellow center, so that's where I'm going with it. That's where I'm going. Where did you go? Where did you go? Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. You know, when I first saw these little flower center things, I thought, okay, those are just goofy. But now, I love them. I do. I really love them, not gonna lie. All right, and before I put that on, I'm gonna do a quick little bow with some I'm gonna do a quick little, not a bow so much as a a loop-de-doo with some of the new old olive linen thread. And all I've done here is just loop it twice around my fingers and leave a tail. And then kind of play with it a little bit to get it how big I want it. And before I do all that, put down my glue dots, because I always get it ready to go and then I have nowhere to go. So I've just got a couple of glue dots. I'm going to put them on the corner of my frame like this. Can you see it? Am I out of the frame? Okay, there we go. So I've got my little loop-de-doo. You can see it's just 2 loops and a couple of tails. I'm just going to fold it into a figure 8 like that. And then take it and stick it down on the glue dots. Like that. Okay. And then I'm going to use a glue dot here on the back of my little circle that I used to make my flower. And stick him down right there in the middle of that. Trim that up a little bit. And there we go. Play with it a little. Make it do what you want it to do. There. And there's our card front. Done. All right. On the inside. Okay. I'm going to say modestly. And this is fun too. Like, I'm such a design wizard. Mm-hmm. All right. Let me get my little pad back. Now I'm going to show you a technique that I just made up today. Okay. Are you excited for that? I know you are. All right, let me get my blocks here. A couple of blocks. You'd think I'd have had those ready, but I didn't. So what I'm doing is I'm using all 3 of the stamp images in Path of Petals that make the flowers that I have pre-stained. I've got the branches and leaves. I've got the twigs and weeds. And then I've got the flowers. All right, so let's take those off. We'll put everything on a block. Okay, so I probably didn't show you the envelope. The front of the envelope has this image, and this is the image that we're going for. On the inside, it's going to be a stamped off once image. On the envelope, it's full strength. So here's what I'm going to do. Just to make life fun, because I can, because why not? I'm going to do my stamped off once on the front of the envelope flap. Or not flap, on the front of the envelope. Okay, here we go. Wild rose. I think that could be a wild rose. I think you are right. Okay, so I'm taking the flower, or the stem and leaves image, and I'm just going to stamp it. I'm just going to stamp it right there in the corner of my envelope. Make sure to get a good image. Don't do anything. And then I'm going to put it in the middle of my liner already stamped off, okay? And I kind of angled it. Okay, so there is our stamped off leaves. Put this away before I make a mess. And then I'm going to use the flowers in Rococo Rose. Pull my envelope back. Tap, tap, tap. Tap, tap, tap. All right. Now the only tricky thing about this is getting this all lined up. So when you look, you'll see that the little flowers on this image have like the little tubes that go down to the stem. And there's a little tube that a stem comes from, and there's a little tube from the stem that the flower goes into, and then there's another one right there. So try to kind of line those up, and that'll help you get the alignment correct. Okay, so then we just stamp there with our Rococo Rose. And do the same. Here's where your colored stamps really pay off, because if you haven't colored them, it's very, very difficult to see, especially stamped off ones. And I'm going to have to pull it to me just a little bit, you guys, so that I can make sure that I'm lined up. Okay, so let me just do that right quick. And there's the stamped off flowers. And I'll close my Rococo Rose so that I don't get it everywhere. I'm not going to say that ever happens, only always. And then we'll finish off with the crumb cake, back to our envelope. And these little weed things. That's probably not it. They're probably like lady's breath or something like that. But they look kind of like weed things to me. Okay, so now this one you kind of have to play with a little bit and get it lined up so you can see where it's going to go. That looks about right. And give that a good press. All right, so there's the full strength image, and then back to my stamped off once image. And let's see, that looks a little harder to see because everything is quite pale, but it'll be okay because it's going behind the sentiment anyway. It's mostly just for the idea of it being there. Okay, now to finish off, I'm going to do my final sentiment. Let me wipe that off so that I can clear off this block. We'll put the final sentiment in Merry Merlot over the top of, oh, there it is. Over the top of our stamped off images. And I'm gonna need a bigger block. Bob, we're gonna need a bigger block. All right. I love the sentiments in this set. It's so pretty. So pretty. All right. And then just line this up right over the top. Make sure it's straight. All right. And there we go. Love it. Love, love, love. So happy with this new set. Can't even begin to tell you. Okay, now we're just going to put this on a Rococo Rose mat. And then into our thick, very vanilla card base. And we'll be ready to go. Ready to rumble. Okay. And let's see. Now I have to just find that I made a little while ago. So envelope. That's the old one. You know, I totally just made an envelope or a card base. I totally made it. Here it is. God, I am so disorganized. It's not even funny. It's just not funny. God. All right. I hope y'all having a good weekend. Gosh, you guys, guess what? What is today's date? The 8th of June. In 1 month from today, I will be somewhere in the Greek islands. Woohoo! I cannot wait. It's starting to get really real now. We got our packages with our pretty wallets and our IDs and our badges, because we do need stinking badges. It's so exciting. So exciting. And we're going to spend 3 days in Rome ahead of time, and I'm going to see my Russian son. That's going to be awesome. Okay, now some more Stampin' Dimensionals. And we will be ready to go. This little guy just really gave me his all in the curling department, didn't he? All right, we know how many dimensionals have to go on here. It's very critical that there be at least 9. More is optional, 9 is mandatory. It's my thing. That's how it goes. Thank you, Elisa. Thank you, Marianne. I'm very excited to go to Greece. Greece. Would it surprise you guys to know that I was, in fact, the president of the Latin club in high school? Yes, I was a geek. There is no doubt about it. I was the person in the corduroy pants whose thighs brushed together and created friction, wearing a plaid flannel shirt. I didn't have glasses because at the time I was not acknowledging that I had any problem seeing, but I didn't need the glasses to fulfill my nerd status. It was quite apparent to everyone that I was a nerd. What would have been cool is if I had been a nerd who was also really, really smart, but I was a nerd who was only marginally smart. So, you know, kind of the best of all the worlds, if you will. All right, and so there is my card. Who knew at the time that where I really needed to focus my energy was in making cards? Because that one turned out pretty good. I'm very happy with it. So let me finish this envelope off with some more of this beautiful wild rose paper. I've decided it's wild rose because somebody said it was. So there you go. Hey, Vanessa. Thank you. Latin is a wonderful language. Dead or no, it's very important. I've been practicing my Greek. You ready? Opa! There we go. That's all I got. Oh, wait. Epharisto. But I probably put the emphasis on the wrong syllable there because I'm not really a Greek speaker, but that was supposed to be thank you in Greek. Probably it was just enough to make somebody think I cursed them out in Greek. I'm hoping Igor's business is importing olive oils and other kinds of cooking oils, and he's going to be in Rome on business, combining it with the trip. So I'm hoping he is an Italian speaker, and he can help us navigate our way around, most specifically to all the good gelato stands in Rome, because I think that's a moral imperative. You guys have heard that nothing has calories in it when you're on vacation, so get ready, Italy. Here comes Mary. The fat girl is on her way. Uh-oh, uh-oh. Did we just lose you? Did I just lose you? Are we still there? Oh, God, did I lose you guys? Uh-oh, what the heck happened? Well, it's saying I'm live, but if it goes down, I'm not done, am I? The fat girl is on her way. Dolmas. Oh, yeah, Dolmas. I think we're good. All right, so I'm not really sure what happened over on my screen, so I'm going to quit looking at it because it's making me kind of dizzy. There is our card, all donezo. Now, would you like to see some of the new products? Anybody interested in some of the new products that I got? It's 7:45. We've got a few minutes. If you want to just go and finish off your Saturday, that is cool too. Or I will be happy to share with you what I have. Up to you. Looking for comments. Okay, we're still good. My computer just did something completely weird and odd. So you guys tell me if you want to see the new goodies. And I will wait just a second. I'm going to get a little drink here because I have kind of a dry throat. And I will see if you are interested in that. Yes, 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 new stuff. Okay, I've got yeses. All right. So I've got some new folders. And I don't know about you guys, but I love embossing folders. I really, really, really love embossing folders a lot. So I tend to just go through and order every new embossing folder that comes down the pike. This is eyelet lace. Can you see that there? I think that one's going to be fun. Just a bunch of dots, but you can see that they're flowers, so that is nice. Here is the Wondrous Magnolia 3D. I don't know, is it helping to put the Merlot behind it or no? You can see the leaves and the flowers. That's just beautiful, beautiful. And these are the 3D ones, so they're gonna have the extra deep embossing. Here's High Seas. This is what I wish I'd had when I was making my samples for on stage. I think this one is wonderful. If y'all like the Seaside Teeth, I think you're really gonna like this one a lot. Can you see the waves there? Looks like a roiling sea. Roiling. I just used roiling. And then here's the Mosaic 3D folder. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Here is Beads and Baubles, which, although the name doesn't really sound like it should, this goes with the Detailed Peacock suite. And if you look at it, those beads and baubles actually do look like the eye in the tail feathers of the peacock. So you'll see why that is when you get this folder. Oh, here we go. This one I'm excited for. I had a really good idea for a card. You might see it on Tuesday. This is the Brick and Mortar 3D embossing folder, and it's really cool. You know, we had a brick wall teeth before, but it was very symmetrical and looked, to me, it looked more like a cement block wall than a brick wall. So this one I really, really like. It's got some of them pulled out, and I think when it embosses, it's really going to look really like an antiqued brick wall. Like an antiqued brick wall. Look at me talking like that. Here's a fun one, Scripty. I've been waiting. Have you guys been waiting for a script embossing folder? I sure as heck have. And it's big, so you can get the entire card base. If you wanted to do your card base versus just the card front, it's plenty big to do that, and I think that's really good. Let's see, what does it say? Can I forget? So full of joy when you stood on... Well, actually, those are actual words, so someday when you have nothing else to do, read your Scripty 3D folder. Okay, now let's pull out... Now, I had big plans, people. I was going to get everything put together so that I would have everything in order and organized, but I did not, and so there you go. All right, now Sweet Silhouettes should be with the Silhouette Scenes, I believe. So you can see, look at that gorgeous die. Isn't that beautiful? Oh my goodness. Can you even just see that just in black against a sponged background? And then a dandelion. Really? My favorite thing. How many of you have dandelion wishes and love it and are so very happy that it carried over besides me? Then here we go. This is perfect. Perfect compliment. And then these words, we've got forever. We have inspire, and we have, I think adventure, maybe adventure. It's a little hard to tell. Adventure, yes, adventure. I will soon get these on my magnets, but I've kind of run out of magnets right now, so I'm waiting for my new cards to arrive from Stamp and Storage. All right, so let's put that aside so I will know it is done. Now, Lovely Leaves. Let's see, that goes with Lovely is the Day. Here we go. Yes, Lovely is the Day. And Lovely Leaves. I don't know about you, but I do love leaves. Especially these look like palm fronds. So I think this is going to be a very, very nice set. Really going to enjoy that. And you can see this die right there appears to cut out this stamped image there. Nice. And these leaves, oh, this is going to be awesome. I kind of went a little crazy, people, not going to lie. Detailed bands, we've got the Band Together stamp set that goes with that. Good, wonderful things, wishing you happy birthday. You're a great example to me. So grateful we are friends. And then these wonderful dies cut to fit the sentiments in the middle. Oh yeah. And then you've got the oval and a label die as well. Yeah, that's going to be fun. All right, let's see. Now, the Path of Petals stamp set actually has its own die set called Petal Labels. And this is a wonderful... it just didn't look, it wasn't quite big enough for my frame. It kind of got lost in the frame, which is why I went with the stitch-shaped oval. This one, which actually makes a mat of sorts, and fits right behind this die cut oval. So you can put your sentiment in the die cut oval and then put a mat behind it that has beautiful leaves coming out. Or you can cut an oval window in your card front with leaves and floral images as well. So that's kind of fun. Hand lettered prose. We all love alphabet dies, I think, and this one is really nice. Look at the size of these letters. This is a big letter, people. It's a big letter, but not too big, if you know what I mean. So that's like an inch tall, that W is, and about an inch and a quarter wide. So that's going to make some nice words going across a card front. And then, of course, you've got the ever critical hashtag. What kind of a world would we have if we couldn't get a hashtag on our card front? And several punctuation marks. And it goes with, I think, a wish for everything. Either that or it goes, hang on just a second, let me look through here. It's either that or it goes with, it goes with, praiseworthy prose right here. Hand-lettered prose is bundled with praiseworthy prose, and this one's great. It's got definitions of some words that we like to use on cards. Grateful, celebrate, family, bundle of joy, way to go, cheerful, friendship. I like that. The definition of way to go. Well done. That was splendid. Bundle of joy, a newborn, a baby that is swaddled and snuggly. This is a fun little, this is going to be fun to play with, I think. Can you believe we have a whole year with all these wonderful goodies? You're seasick. Uh-oh. Is it making you sick? I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Terry. It is blurry. I wonder if that's my internet. We've been having some issues. I'm sorry for that. Are you guys blurry? Are you getting blurred? Are you getting blurred? I'm sorry. Like I said, the internet has been spotty today, and I'm sorry. I can't help it. There's not a thing I can do about it, Terry. I'm so sorry. So sorry. Okay. The phrase is on the top. Blurry. Yeah, I know. I'm seeing that now as I look. It does seem... It may just depend on where you're at, people. I'm really, really sorry. All right. Tasteful backgrounds. That goes with tasteful textures. Just 3 dies, but I think that will be fun. Got good things are sure to happen. You're one of those people who make my life better just by being in it. Thanks for making it easy to believe in myself. Some nice sentiments in nice fonts. I like this. All right, there's that. Friendly Silhouettes is bundled with a friend like you. I love this. This one. Look at this die with the leaves and the flowers. That's going to be great. And then you've got a palm tree edgelet. How cool is that? That's going to be great to go along with the palm trees there. And then, of course, you can cut out your dragonflies, because we all like to cut out dragonflies, don't we? I like to. And you've got some cattails. Are y'all seeing cards in your head while I'm going through this as best you can with the terribly blurry that some of you are getting? I'm so sorry. But yeah, this will be a fun card. I got to stop thinking about the card I'm going to make with that. All right, Word Wishes goes along with the Wish for Everything. Now, Wish for Everything is a 2 stamp case set, and there is a lot of sentiment in here. You've got 38 total sentiment stamps, and they're great. Just a little reminder that you are loved. The real heroes of the world are fathers like you, giving thanks for you with a very grateful heart. First, my mother, forever my friend. May the beauty of Easter fill your heart with hope. Hope this new year is filled with promises of many bright tomorrows. So you've got all sorts of wonderful sentiments there. Then you've got one-word sentiments. And may the luck of the Irish go double for you. I like that. And then, of course, you've got the holidays already set out. You've got St. Patrick's Day, Father's Day, Mother's Day, Merry Christmas, Easter, Halloween, Thanksgiving, Valentine's, New Year's, St. Patrick's Day. I love word dies. Love them. Love word dies. So this this one was obviously one of the first on my list. Actually, not gonna lie, I just thumbed through the first 4 pages of the catalog and said, oh, I need that bundle, and I need that bundle, and I need that bundle. And so I kind of went crazy with the bundles. All right, here's a fun one. Like I said, this one I believe you may see on, did I say Tuesday already? Yes, I think you may see a card made with this and the brick teeth, the brick 3D folder on Tuesday. If my head idea is working, then that will be what you see on Tuesday. Okay, and this is Wiggle Worm. This is just so cute. All these adorable little bugs who are good bugs instead of like the ticks and the mosquitoes that we're currently experiencing here. You make my heart flutter. I love being with you. BEEING. You amaze me. Cute as a bug. I love you, Wiggle Worm. So this is cute. And of course you can cut out the little bugs, and you can cut some grass, and you can cut a partially eaten leaf. The only time we like partially eaten leaves, right? All right, so that one's cute. And then finally is one of my 6 sets of the detailed Peacock dies. Those will be going back next week, 5 of the 6. Look how beautiful this is. And let me show you the paper that goes with that. Let me show you the paper that goes with that. This is the Noble Peacock Specialty Designer paper. You get 3 designs in the pack. Berry bushel, blueberry bushel, sorry, pretty peacock, and old olive. Can you see the shine? Very pretty, very pretty. And there's also colored foil in those same colors that comes in a different pack that I can't find the opening to right now. Here we go. So imagine some of these feathers cut in these beautiful foil colors. Love me some colored foil, don't you? I think you all do. But again, the blueberry bushel, pretty peacock, and old olive in the foil that coordinates beautifully with the DSP. That is going to be quite spectacular, I believe, with this die. Very pretty. So if you're on the fence about detailed peacock, climb down, get off the fence. I think you're gonna like it. I really do. All right. Now that is all the stamp sets and tools. Oh wait, I do have one more stamp set to show you that I got. I just think this one is too cute. I can't help it, so I got it. It's back on your feet. It's got a sloth with a broken arm. It's got a turtle to turtle, which I actually feel bad for. I probably will never use that because when I see turtles who are turtles, I feel bad for them. But I know that no giraffe is ever going to get a knot in its neck, so that doesn't make me feel so bad. And I just think these are cute. Sometimes that's all there is to say, and that I'm here for you. So you got sigh, ouch, kind of perfect for get well cards. But remember, turtles don't like to be turtled. All right, and let me show you 2 more papers real quick like a bunny. And then we'll be done because it's just now 8. This is the Dino Roar DSP. Great for kids and the young at heart. I love these colors. You know, usually this isn't my color palette, but for some reason the way they've put them together really appeals to me. Here's one, and I'm going to get to it here in just a second, I'm sure of it, and I got to show you. Hopefully you're in a place where you're getting good video so that you can see the dinosaurs and the Tyrannosaurus Rexes and the pterodactyls and the triceratops, and I don't see any raptors. I think raptors must be too violent for kids. That's probably it. Oh no, wait, there's raptors. There he is. There's a raptor. I'm pretty sure that's a raptor. No, that's not a raptor. That's a T-Rex right there, yeah. And then Stegosaurus. Look at me. I've seen Jurassic Park way too many times. Okay. But look at this cute one. I love this design. You see all those little tiny dinosaur eggs? I just think that's so cute. It just strikes me as being so cute. Sorry. Okay, so that is the Dino Roar. And then I've got one more. Now this one is very far out of my comfort level, but there are some really cool designs in here. And this is the See a Silhouette Designer Series paper. These are some wow colors. I'll tell you what I think they did. I mean, to me, these look like the brushos were put into water and then photographed. Doesn't that look like brusho in mid-brushinator? But it's pretty paper, but I'm not real sure what to do with it quite yet. So it's going to take me a second. There's some herringbone brick in colors that I wouldn't probably ever brick anything in, but they're fun. And then on the flip side is more brusho in dark colors. And the colors that go in this set, Blackberry Bliss, Crushed Curry, Daffodil Delight, Flirty Flamingo, Mango Melody, Mossy Meadow, Night of Navy, Old Olive, Pacific Point, Poppy Parade, Real Red, Rich Raspberry, and Whisper White. So it pretty much covers the whole spectrum here. So you got some Rich Raspberry. I like this one. Looks like Emboss Resist leaves. And then Pretty Blues. I've already got some ideas going in my head for that. So that one's kind of pretty. But this one, it's just out of my comfort zone, so I'll have to work at this. I like this one. I could actually see this one combined with some of the sets and the die cuts from Sailing Home. Don't you see kind of oceany there? I see ocean when I look at that. Look at it that way. Maybe you'll see it better. Or that way. And then on the back is some Night of Navy. Yeah. Okay. And then we've got another kind of wild one. The front and the back of this. I like it. It does. It all looks a lot like Emboss Resist, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. And then here's our final one. I do kind of sort of love this paper right here. This is really pretty paper. I like it a lot. And this color is like Joe and the Volcano reds. So what do you think? I don't know. I think this one will be fun to work with. I'm excited to see what you guys all come up with. So that is my look. I've got more stuff coming on. On Monday I have 5 packs of Bird Ballad DSP coming for y'all's shares. And then Monday or Tuesday I'll have another set of goodies from the new catalog. So if I think about it and have time, I might hop on and give you all a reveal. Otherwise, we'll look at them next week. All right, guys, I appreciate your time. Went over a little bit, but I hope you enjoyed the peek at the new catalog, and I hope you are having fun with it. It's one of the best I've seen in a long time. Hope you had fun. We'll see you next week. Thanks. Bye-bye.